As you can tell, the Miami Book Fair was very successful, so here's a haul of all the books that we probably shouldn't have got, but we did. And I'm gonna go from the least expensive to the most expensive, and the least expensive is Fervour. Yes, Fervour 99, and that is going to be 11 books. Yeah, we got 11 books for free, 0.00, okay? Not even a cent, aside from the admission fee, which we're... By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I went to the biggest book event of the year in Miami, Florida, and it was the Miami Book Fair, okay? So if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and watch it and then come back here to see all the cool stuff that we got. And the first 6 books that we got for free, I'm gonna show them all together because they're from the same author, who is Rich Shapiro, not too sure, but basically they were handing out free books and every person got 3 books. So this is actually a pair of duplicates, 3 and 3, all right? And these first 2 pairs of books actually come from a booth that was called Too Far Media. They basically specialize in immersive storytelling. So they had like the art playing and they were reading the chapters, and we were able to just like stand in the booth and it kind of felt like you're in the story. It was not like fully VR, but the way they had it set up was really neat because it was like you're going through the story. And the one that they were showing us when we were there was actually this book, The Hibiscus Mask. So we got to like see it play out and it was really nice, honestly. I don't know how much we're going to read of these, but they look freaking sick. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And the second pair of book is going to be Beneath Kaki's Wings. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but on the back it says some find victory, some find love, some lose their senses. And it says Kaki brings changes, Hanu said. That's what they thought. I think Kaki might be the name of the parrot in this book. I'm not entirely sure. And for the third pair of books that we have, it is called Rin Tung and Dorner. So again, these are very artistic. I feel like they might have some cultural background to them, and they all look really beautiful. I will say, because we have duplicates of each one, we're probably going to donate them to our little library. Not probably, we will, because we don't need the same book, right? And then we're gonna go on to the next pair of free books. And that is Mariner Valley and A Seed of Aldebaran. And they are both by the same author, James Crawford. And I already told him, his name sounds like an author's name. Like it sounds like it should already be famous on a bunch of books. And here it is, right? So he calls himself a novelist, an amateur astronomer, and he's also a US Navy veteran. And he just seemed like so into science fiction. That's what these books are. And he uses his background in military to write about it. And he was so passionate about it. And that's what made me like really excited to read it. And even though unfortunately these were all wet by Hurricane Helene, he had them giving out for free. That way people can read them, and if they enjoy them, they're able to leave a review. That's all he asked. If you enjoyed it, leave a positive review. If you didn't enjoy it, keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna read the back of Mariner Valley because that's the book that Gio chose. A gang of desperate outlaws fleeing justice, an armed posse eager for revenge, and a thrilling chase across the high desert wastelands of Mars. If that sounds interesting to you, you should probably check it out because you gotta support our little indie authors, okay? He's self-published and he's trying his best, and he's been writing for years, and it's time to see that come to fruition, okay? Gio was really excited for this one, and I picked out this one because I just thought it looked super cool, and hopefully we get to reading them soon. And our next 3 free books are going to be from Bookluggers Library. They call themselves Miami's first and only free bookstore, okay? So you were able to just walk in. They had a nice little van, and they also had shelves upon shelves of free books, and these are the ones that we were able to find. And the first one is The Alternative Answer by Bob Rice, and the subtitle is The Non-Traditional Investments That Drive the World's Best Performing Portfolios. Yeah, it's about like money and stuff and financing and investing. That's all the stuff that Gio's interested in because he studied economics, so I don't know nothing about that, but that seems cool. And then we have the one that I chose, which is The Splendid Century, Life in the France of Louis the 14th. Hold on everyone, hold on. Yes, Louis XIV. Okay. I kind of was just interested in having this, not really to fully read it, but to like enjoy some of it, learn a little bit about the history of France because I am interested in speaking French. And then I also hope to one day use these books as a form of mixed media and just kind of like really look at the photos, and if they spark some interest in me, I can kind of use them in an artwork at some point. And they all look really neat, and it's just really cool, okay? I'm not super into history, but just being able to see what it's like and seeing how beautiful this was, I had to pick it up. And then the third book that we got was The Bourne Supremacy. Gio found this one, and I was like, no way. Like, this is a good one. I have to say, this is a good one because, hello, Jason Bourne, huh? How are you gonna find this? Now, I'm pretty sure this is like the third one. I don't know if this is like the first, second, third, but it's definitely a sequel. I feel like with most of these books, honestly, you're able to read like the second or third book and be fine, especially when it's like one of these more thriller, action-packed. Like you might not get that, oh my god, this villain came back or whatever, but you'll still get the plot because they kind of follow the same structure. The next 6 books that we have here are all going to be ones that we bought at the fair, and we also got signed by their author. Actually, the rest of the books that I'm going to be showing you have all been signed by the author. We got to meet them, we got to chat with them, and the first one that I'm going to start with is called Red, and it's from the Chosen Tryphons series, it seems. So this is actually book 2 of the series, but the author told me that it's okay to start with book 2 and that you don't necessarily have to read book 1. Then book 3, you should probably have read at least one of the other 2, right? So this one I chose because she just seemed amazing. Her booth was very much black girl magic, black girl fantasy, and in this one, the Chosen Tryphons are basically ones that I believe were chosen by the gods, and they have gemstones to protect, and red protects the red gemstone. The red gemstone is actually used to control the realms. There's green to control anti-magic, yellow was to control spirits, and then pink was to control universal magic. And you kind of just follow this because the balance of their control is disturbed, and we're gonna see why and how it's going to be fixed. Okay? I was really excited to see this, another indie author, indie fantasy author, indie black girl fantasy author. I had to buy it, okay? It was $15, I paid in cash, and I'm honestly just happy that I got this book. So the past indie books have all been self-published, but now I'm going to show you some ones that were published with a publishing house. And the first one is going to be Lobisona, and Lobisona is written by Romina Garber. She actually talked twice, like back to back, which I thought was crazy, and she is Argentinian, and I didn't know much about her books. I've seen some of them before, and these are what they look like, but I didn't know anything about her. But listening to her, I was like, wow, like this story sounds amazing. All of her stories sound really good, but this one really resonated with me because this is about an undocumented immigrant who's on the run from her father's Argentinian crime family. Now, I'm not saying that that's who I am, right? But I am from Miami, Florida. We have a lot of undocumented immigrants. My own family has undocumented immigrants that are now documented, and I just feel like it's important to listen to those stories. And although this is fiction, it's based in reality and it's based in truth. And even on the front, it says undocumented, unprotected, unafraid. And that's just something that I thought was really important, okay? She has it written in Spanish, and she also has it written in English. I wanted to get the Spanish version, but when I went to Steamy Lit, this was like the very end of the night, they only had this one left, and it was 15% off, and I was like, okay, it's a sign. I'm gonna have to buy it, I'm gonna have to go back to her, I'm gonna have to get it signed, okay? Because at first, I walked up to her and I was like, oh, I don't have your book, but I just want to talk to you and like say thank you so much for talking, because she really hit. Like I was literally sobbing. And the first time I went up to her, she actually had postcards that she was also writing on, so she gave me a postcard, gave me a little note, and then when I came back and I had the book, she was like, oh my god, thank you so much for going to get the book and everything. And I was like, of course, I'm excited. And she said, dear Alexmary, so lovely to meet you. You made my day at the fair. Y mucho amor a tu mamá. So that was very amazing, and I'm excited to read this. I'm definitely going to be reading this, and it seems great. Also, we're gonna go on to the next author, but the next author happens to be right here, and that is Tomi Adeyemi with Children of Blood and Bone. So actually, we have this book already, but it is not our copy, it is Gio's friend's copy, and Gio read the book, and he was really excited to listen to her, and that's why we have 2 of them. A signed copy for Gio's friend, and we also have our own copy that I bought right before going to see her and getting it autographed. At first, Gio was fine without getting like his own copy autographed, but I was like, you're meeting her, it's nice. Like, get the book. We have our own book now, and we can keep it in our library when we eventually give this one back to his friend. Now, unfortunately, I can't really tell you much about this book, okay, because I haven't read it yet. Gio has. But what I understand in Nigerian. Me, Nigerian, okay? So I'm gonna be reading this. It's gonna be amazing. And let me read the back real quick. It says, they killed my mother, they took our magic, they tried to bury us, now we rise. Do I really need to say much else? Also, the book is going to be becoming a movie. Yeah, becoming a movie. Okay, we've got a big Hollywood star here in the making, in my hands. So I'm very excited, and I can't wait to read this. This is like going up on the top of my reading list. And also, I just want to put this out there. If you have never met Tomi Adeyemi, you need to. Her energy is amazing. She is such a beautiful woman. Like, she is so amazing. Her relationship with Romina Garber was so touching. If you haven't watched the video yet, and now you are like, maybe I should watch a video, because you should see how she was speaking. Like, she had such energy, such vivaciousness to her. She is she loves, like she's happy, okay? Part of it is because she's happy the series is over, since she just came out with her third book, Children of Anguish and Anarchy. But she also just has this like freedom and openness to new people, and I find that really beautiful. So yeah, just her personality alone makes me want to read this, and then the way everyone else is talking about it and saying how great it is, I definitely want to read it. If you're curious about how much this copy was of Children of Blood and Bone with the sprayed edges, it was $14.99. By the way, Lobisona I bought for $11 because it was 15% off, but it was originally $13. So not only were Romina and Domi at the same panel, Ladarian Williams was also there as well. And this book, I am so happy it is in my hands, okay? If you watch my New York vlog, I have a shot of this book and I wanted to get it so bad, but I was like, I'm spending a lot of money because I'm in New York City and I don't have space in the suitcase. Okay, babes, I did not have space. So I decided I'm gonna get it later. And when I saw him on the list at the Miami Book Fair, I had to buy it, okay? I had to buy it. And this book is basically like another fantasy, black boy fantasy this time, and Ladarian Williams actually has it as a short film at first. He wanted to change it into a TV show, and then he was like, no one's picking up it as a TV show, so I'm gonna write a book. And he is another person with amazing energy. You can tell he's a theater kid, you can tell he's happy to be working here, and it was just a really great experience meeting him as well. On the back of this book, it's not like any others. It's actually, instead of a blurb, it is the admissions letter to the main character, and it says, "Dear gifted conjurer, congratulations! It is with great honor and pleasure that we inform you that you have been accepted into Cayman University. This new journey will be prestigious and life-filling as you learn to grow in the excellence of hoodoo and voodoo magic, integrity, and honesty. Your exceptional gift was selected from a very competitive applicant pool of conjurers, and we are confident that you will contribute to the magical culture and thrive here at Cayman U. Let us all lead with love and know our roots are deep, numerous, and vivacious." So yeah, this book is at the very top of my list. I'm excited. Like, Children of Blood and Bone is at the top, but I think Blood at the Root just might be at the tipping top because I want to be back in my fantasy bag. If you're curious about how much I spent on this one, it was $20.99. This was the first book I bought at the fair, and I knew I had to get it when I went there. Like, I bought it, I think, on the first day, like the one I didn't even film, that's when I bought this book. Now, of course, those past books have been a lot of fantasy, and this next book has a little bit of fantasy, but it's an author who not only does fantasy now, but she does a little bit of historical fiction as well. And that is Leigh Bardugo, baby. She was the very first author that we went to, and first off, her energy, amazing as well. I can't stress this enough. All these authors are so great. Like, they are such wonderful people. And she convinced me. She convinced me at this panel to read The Familiar, okay? Because she said a story that was so, like, oh, it was something that just sounded so amazing to me, and that's what got me to read the book. Again, if you don't know the story, you're gonna have to watch the video, okay? But I've seen this book before. When I first saw it, I saw Spanish Inquisition next, because I don't read historical fiction, right? But now that I know it's historical fiction with a little bit of magic in it, a little bit of cool stuff in it, I was like, I'm gonna get it. So of course, I got it. And this one I paid the most for, and it was 30 doll hairs, no tax. So with tax, what is it, like 32 doll hairs? Yeah, and I really think I'm going to enjoy this book. I think I'm actually going to enjoy it more than the other Leigh Bardugo book that I'm going to show you in a little bit, just because it sounds really cool. Okay, I've never really read historical fiction. This might be my first one, and I think it's a great introduction because it still has a little bit of fantasy elements into it, so it's gonna be like a nice little shifting. I'll be able to really dive in and enjoy it. And the very last book that we paid for is actually so far from all the other ones, and it is actually a memoir, okay? And it is called The Mango Tree, a memoir of fruit, Florida, and felony. Does that not sound incredible? Like, come on, let's be real. It sounds awesome, right? And the author, Annabelle, she was so funny. Like, listening to her tell the story was like, wow, we have to get this book. So that's why Gio ended up buying it. And it was $30. And that might sound like a lot, but listen to this memoir, okay? This is basically the story of how her mother, random day, decided to shoot a man with a BB gun after he tried to take her mangoes, okay? Yes. And she was a journalist, and she got the call about her mother doing this, and she was like, oh my God, my mom is a criminal now. What am I going to do? Like, she was like, there's no way this happened, right? So her mom actually fully has to like go to jail and all this stuff. And not only that, but her journalist friend was like, oh my God, did you hear this story about a Filipina mom who shot someone with a BB gun? And she's like, that's my mother. And he was like, oh. And she's like, anyway, you cannot write the story. And he's like, girl, this story has to be said. All right. And it's a very famous story, apparently. Like, it was all over the news. You can search it up. And if you type in mango shooter, you're going to see her mom. And then you'll also see a type of vodka shot, I think. And yeah, pretty crazy. I've never read a memoir before, but this sounds like a good one to start. And honestly, the other two authors that were there have really good memoirs as well. One of them is free, and then the other one they had for sale, but we were buying way too many books, okay? But I really do think that I should give memoirs a chance more often, because if they sound like this, come on. And finally, to end up our little haul, I'm gonna show you all the books that we brought with us that were obviously technically free. You know what I'm saying? They're free, okay? Because we paid for them a long time ago. But as you saw, Tomi Adeyemi, Children of Blood and Bone, this is one that actually neither Gio and I paid for. His roommate did. And we got it signed for him. It's in his name. We're gonna give that back very soon. And the next two books are from Leigh Bardugo. You might be able to guess actually which book I was talking about earlier. But I'm gonna tell you that Six of Crows is the book that I've read before. It's an amazing book. I really enjoyed it. I don't even really remember that much, but this was the first fantasy book that I ever read, and that was already a lot for me. Like, she entered me into this world. Oh my God, wait a second. I lied. Oh my gosh. I think I might have lied to Leigh Bardugo in the face. I fully went this whole weekend thinking that she was the first fantasy author that I read, because I was like, yeah, I read dystopian. I read Marie Lu. I read, obviously, Legend series, Match, Cross, whatever, dystopian. But I read The Entitled Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. That's pure fantasy. So I'm sorry. She'll never see this, but you guys will know that I lied. Okay, but I fully believe that she was my first fantasy author. Anywho, she is one of my first fantasy authors, if not the first, the second. And I really enjoyed this book a lot. It's great, heist, and I wanted to get it signed. So I did. And she signed right here to Alexmary. Haha. And then she also signed this book. And this is the one that I really have not read yet. I have no clue if I ever will read this book. It has me like very nervous to read it, because I checked the trigger warnings, and the trigger warnings were a lot. But I was talking to someone in line, and she was like, the biggest thing that people talk about is actually one page. And she said it's not as grotesque as it may sound. And she said that to give it a shot, and you're also always welcome to literally skim over that page, because it can be a lot. I have a feeling this book is very heavy, and like literal heavy, and then also heavy in content. But perhaps one day when I feel honestly mature enough, I can read this book, because there are a lot of diehard fans for this duology. And now it's time to just show you the last two books of this whole thing, and that is Dork Diaries. Yeah, these are books that I brought with me, and this is a book that was actually my copy. I purchased it, and then it's a hand-me-down that I gave to my little sister, and then my little sister bought this book. So it was just wonderful to see them there, because this is literally what I grew up with. Like, I read these books. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay, I think I read 7 Dork Diaries books. That's pretty insane, honestly. And they now have 16 of them. Yeah, 16. This is 15, and there's a new one. So getting to meet them, they were so sweet. They really know how to work well with kids, obviously, and they were really nice. And we didn't just leave home with 2 signed books. We left home with free goodies from them and from the rest of the fair. So as a part of my haul, I'm gonna show you that as well. Aside from Leigh Bardugo, this is why they were the longest line I waited in, because they had all these free things that they were giving out to the kids, and it was worth it, honestly. For them, like, to have this experience, it was really nice. This is actually my first time opening up this grab bag, but it comes with a bookmark, 2 stickers, a light up scrunchie, a little journal. Oh wait, this is like a little book. Oh my god, a super squee edition of a book. Oh my god, this is so cute. Oh my gosh, this is actually so cute. What the heck? What the literal heck? They have tiny versions of this book. That's insane. I'm actually so excited to read this. Like, can you imagine? I'm like traveling, whatever, I'm on a plane, and I whip out this. You must actually be freaking joking me. Like, I don't have to worry about space in my bag because I get a tiny, tiny little version of a book. I'm so excited. Okay, all right. They also gave us 2 writing utensils. One is this. Yeah, a lipstick pen. Period, excuse me. And then also a fully decked out Dork Diaries pencil. Like, they had everything set up magically. What? By the way, if you couldn't tell, this poster is actually from the 16th book, the newest one. From Tales from a Not So Bratty Little Sister, which I didn't even know that this was their 16th book, but now I think that it's so perfect that I went, because imagine me, an older sibling, going and sitting down and listening and now meeting Rachel Renee Russell and Nikki Russell, and the book is The Not So Bratty Little Sister. I myself am a bratty little sister, and now I did this all for my little bratty sister. So it works out so well. And you already know, I got the swag on. I swear, I swear, I swear, I swear. Hey, I pop out with my bag. Wow, I actually feel so hot in these. Like, tell me why this is the best. I also kind of look at that meme though. Oh, oops, 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 Can you imagine putting this in your kid's hair? Can you imagine? Wait, hold on. Let me put my shades on. I said my lip gloss is cool. My lip gloss is popping. Stop and chase me after school. Like, they literally knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing by giving me this. That's insane. Anywho, the last and final thing that I got was chapstick, which is Sour Patch Kids flavor, baby. This grab bag is enough to literally make my day. I'm so excited for this. I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to be reading this front and back. And if I need like magnifying glasses, I'm finna put them on, okay? Like, if I have to read like this, I'll read like this. I'm so excited to give this to my little sister. I have to. All right, now we have to show the other freebies that we got as well, of course. One of them was just the Miami-Dade Public Library system. Go to your public library, please. They deserve some help. They deserve your support, okay? And in this grab bag, it came with a few little things in it. One of them was actually a reading light. Oh my gosh, a reading light. I actually have one of these, but I didn't have one for Gio or for my mom, so now we have multiple. But in case you've never seen this before, this technology, you literally clip it on and then you turn it on and boom, you're able to read at night, everyone. You don't have to disturb your husband, you don't have to disturb your cat. You just, even though you should because they disturb you at night, but you just put this on and now you're able to read a little bit. So we got 2 of those. And then we of course got even more bookmarks, and these ones seem to be like magnetic or something. And while it might seem a little random that these have like animals on it, actually the Miami-Dade Public Library system has a way to foster pets. I just saw that the other day, that you can like, I think either foster or adopt pets via Miami-Dade Public Library. So these are cute. These are cute, these are on theme. It's wonderful. And the last thing we got from that grab bag was actually a pencil with a little stylus. It's a classic thing. Like, I think every time you go to an event, you're gonna find a pencil or a pen and it's gonna have a stylus on it. It's just how things work. And not only did we get 2 of those grab bags, we also had 2 of these tote bags that came from the first books that I showed you. And they're super cute. So now we have even more totes to take to the grocery store. Another thing that you're always going to find at an event are tote bags. I don't understand. It's tote bags, it's pens, and it's also straws. Isn't that a good segue? Okay, so the Adrian Art Center was there. They are like our #1 center for performing arts in Miami, and you got to pick something if you like won a little raffle or you spun the wheel and you got the question right. And we got a nice reusable straw now. We already have a couple of these, but we always lose like the cleaner for them or like the topper. So once again, we have even more, and we got the little sippy part as well. And then of course, last but certainly not least, we have a fully free, okay, free, big Miami Book Fair tote, okay? Is it cute? Is it as cute as the one that you could buy? Definitely not. But is it functional? Yes. Can it carry many books? Yes. Did we test it out? Yes. But that is everything that I got at the book fair. I'm really happy that we went. I'm so excited about all of these books. If you're curious about how much I spent on everything, I'm pretty sure for the entire weekend, including my tickets, including another few things here and there like food, I spent around $160. That's a lot of money. Okay, it was a lot. I understand. I didn't have to spend this much. I definitely could have saved more money. I think Gio spent like way less than that. And that's okay because I was really excited. I have so many books that I can add to my bookshelf and that I'm going to be reading one day. I'll definitely go back on my book buying ban and just like avoid buying even more books. And also, I forgot to mention, I got a free audiobook as well, and it's a Christmas one. So I'm already like saving money. I got so many free books. I like basically I'm fine, right? So yeah, now I'm done chatting your ear off. I have to go read some books. Thank you so much for tuning in to not only the adventure of the whole fair, but also this haul. It was a lot. I'm really happy. I can't wait to go next year. And for now, I want to bid you adieu, au revoir, adios, and aloha. Bye. The irony of the fact that one of my bigger book videos is me telling you that you don't need to buy more books, and here I am posing with 22 bucks. But I'll be back on my library guide. I swear. This was just a one-time thing. I swear.